Baxter the gentle rhino, in the lush, golden grasslands of Africa, where the wind carried the earthy smell of acacia trees and the distant hum of bees, lived a rhino named Baxter. Baxter was big even for a rhino. His horn was sharp, his legs were strong, and his shoulders were broad enough to shake a tree with one nudge. But Baxter wasn't like the other rhinos in his herd. While they loved running in mud pits and locking horns in playful battles, Baxter had a different kind of strength. He spent his days tending to his colorful flower garden, humming softly to himself as he arranged petals into patterns only he could imagine. "Baxter, you're so strange," laughed Rocky, a rowdy young rhino who loved to show off his muscles. "What's the point of planting flowers when you can charge and roar like us?" Baxter smiled, his kind eyes twinkling. "Flowers bring beauty to the world, Rocky. They make the grasslands brighter and happier." But Rocky snorted and rolled his eyes, galloping off to join the others. One morning, as Baxter admired a cluster of bright purple blossoms, a great commotion stirred in the herd. The zebras came galloping, the gazelles leapt through the air, and the ostriches ran in zigzags. "The great strength showdown is coming," they all cried. "What's that?" Baxter asked, his curiosity piqued. "It's the biggest event of the year," explained Mimi, a chatty meerkat. "All the strongest animals compete to prove who's the mightiest in the grasslands." The herd buzzed with excitement. Rocky couldn't stop flexing his legs and ramming nearby trees. "This is my chance to shine," he declared. As the day of the showdown arrived, animals gathered from far and wide. Elephants stomped proudly, lions roared, and giraffes craned their necks to see over the crowd. Baxter came too, not to compete, but to admire the festival's decorations, bright banners and garlands made of flowers. Suddenly the announcer, a wise old owl, called for the next challenge, the boulder push. A massive rock twice the size of Baxter sat in the middle of the arena. Rocky stepped forward confidently. "I've got this," he boomed. With a mighty snort, he pushed the boulder with all his strength. Crowd cheered as the rock rolled a few feet forward. But then something unexpected happened. The boulder teetered to one side and rolled into a nearby ditch, blocking a small burrow. From inside came the faint squeaks of a family of meerkats trapped inside. Crowd gasped. The strong animals looked around nervously, unsure of what to do. "The burrow is too narrow for us," the elephants trumpeted. Baxter's heart swelled with determination. "I'll help them," he said softly. "But Baxter, you're not here to compete," Rocky said, confused. "Some things are more important than winning," Baxter replied. With careful steps, Baxter approached the boulder. His horn wasn't just strong, it was precise. He used it to gently wedge under the rock, lifting it just enough to let the meerkat family escape. Crowd fell silent, watching in awe. "Keep going, Baxter," Mimi cheered. Baxter pushed the boulder back into its place, not with brute force, but with care and patience. When he was done, the burrow was safe, and the meerkats hugged him tightly. Crowd erupted into cheers. "What a hero!" they cried. The owl flapped her wings proudly. "True strength isn't just about muscles, it's about heart. Baxter, you've shown us what it means to be truly strong." Rocky lowered his head, looking sheepish. "I'm sorry, Baxter," he said. "I thought strength was all about showing off. But you've shown me it's about helping others." Baxter smiled warmly. "There's room for all kinds of strength, Rocky. And it's never too late to learn." From that day on, Baxter was known as a hero in the grasslands, not for his size or his horn, but for his gentle heart and his courage to be himself. And though he became famous, he still spent his afternoons in his flower garden, humming softly as butterflies danced around him. Moral values, kindness, true strength lies in helping others and making the world a better place. Being yourself. Embrace who you are, even if it's different from others. Vocabulary for kids: commotion, a noisy or excited disturbance. Example: the animals made a commotion when they heard about the showdown. Boulder, a very large rock. Example: Baxter carefully moved the boulder away from the burrow. Precise, doing something very carefully and exactly. Example: Baxter used his horn with precise movements to lift the rock.